All right, we're going to finish solving equations by taking square roots today. That's on 116 and 117, no matter what the video says later. So you're going to go ahead and open. We're going to finish this bottom half of the foldable, and then we'll finish writing in our notebook. I don't even have anything written here yet, but I'll get it there. So go ahead and open to this. We are going to work these examples and then work on page 117. So go ahead and get ready, open that up so we can start those examples. All right, so if we are supposed to first isolate x plus b squared, meaning whatever's in parentheses squared, is that actually already done in this one? Yeah, because if it's not, there would be something outside, like number 6 has something outside. So, if that's already done, I'm going to skip to step 2, which is isolate x plus b by taking the square root of each side. So I'm going to take the square root. Square rooting that squared, it's the inverse, which means it undoes that. So all that's left on this left side is x minus 7. What is the square root of 25? What did we talk about yesterday that we had to make sure we did? Like yesterday, if we just had x equals 5, we also wrote what? You have to do the same thing here. You have to write the positive and negative. We have to solve both equations. So one positive, one negative. Have to do that. Then we're just going to solve both. How do I solve this? So x equals 12. Okay, and this one we add 7, but now x equals 2. The difference here, they are no longer just positive and negative, because when I have something inside the parentheses, I'm going to have to add or subtract and change things. I still will have 2 answers in these, or, I could have no real solutions. One answer is actually possible as well. We might see that today. Alright, number 6, what do I need to do? Divide by 2, because it's outside of parentheses there. So x plus 9 squared equals 9. Alright, now what? Square root. I like to make up my own verb and say square root it. Alright, so that gives us x plus 9 equals what? 3, and then x plus 9 equals negative 3. Thanks for mentioning the positive and negative one. Now what do we do? So x equals what? Okay. How about the other one? Subtract 9 again, x equals negative 12. I want you guys to try 7 and 8. Alright. What'd you guys do for number 7? Divide by 7. I have no idea what 448 divided by 7 is. 50 what? 64. Okay, now what? Square root. X minus 3 equals 8. So I don't know if you know, so there's a math team every year that goes to compete in MTSU, and I do the geometry one. But they had a question, and you might see it on a test sometime. On this test, it said, it gave this right here, and then they solved it. Because what are you going to do to solve it? Plus 3. x equals 11. It had this right here and said, what did someone, whoever, they named a person, what did they do wrong? And that was a test question. What did they do wrong if you ended this right here? They didn't do the negative half of the equation there. I've seen test questions like that on practice tests and stuff.
What can you do to help you to remember to do the negative?
It's a quadratic, yeah. It's also because, you know, that square root, when you square a positive and you square a negative, it's going to both be positive 64. What is negative 8 plus 3? Did anybody look at number 8 and think, oh, it's no solution? Is it no solution? It starts off as a negative. What are we going to do, though, before we take the square root? Divide by negative 4. What's negative 16 divided by negative 4? Positive 4. What if that had been a positive 4 right there? It would have been no solution. Alright, so what are we going to do then? Take the square root. So x plus 5 equals 2, and x plus 5 equals? Okay, now what? So x equals, subtract 5 again, and x equals, I'm going to leave that there for a second in case you didn't get it, but we're going to write on page 115 again. So continuing to write on page 115 from yesterday, here is number 5, 4 parentheses x plus 2 squared equals 100. Number 6, 5 parentheses x plus 1 squared equals 20. Yeah, and I can also zoom out so you can actually see it. 5 parentheses x plus 1 squared equals 20. And then number 7 is 5 parentheses n plus 1 squared equals 33. And number 8, x minus 3 squared plus 5 equals 0. So there are your 4 problems. I'm going to set a timer for you to do all of them. Alright, number 5. What did you guys do first on number 5? Divide by 4. What is 100 divided by 4? It's what? 25. Okay, so then what'd you do? Took the square root. X plus 2 equals 5. X plus 2 equals negative 5. Then what? You subtracted 2. X equals 3. Okay, then what? So x equals, great. Okay, then what? Divide by 5. So x plus 1 squared equals 4. Okay, then what'd you do? Took the square root. So x plus 1 equals, and x plus 1 equals. Alright, now what? Subtract 1 on both sides. So x equals, and x equals negative 3. Did you think that number 7 was wrong for a minute because they've all come out as whole numbers?
I don't think most of the ones on your homework actually come out as anything but a decimal, but I don't remember exactly. It's been a little while since I've done it myself. Divide by 5. What is 33 divided by 5? 6.6? Is that what you said? Cool. 6.6. Take the square root. That's where you're going to have to round, I'm pretty sure. 43? No. Square root of 6.6? 2.2? 2 point. Make sure you do 2 decimal places, not just 1. Oh, then 2.57. Then I'm going to subtract 1. What is 2.57 minus 1? 1.57. Okay, and then subtract 1. What is negative 2.57 minus 1? Alright, and number 8. What did you guys do? How do you know that? I don't have any negatives right now. What do you do? Subtract 5 first. I hadn't showed you anywhere we had to subtract. Sometimes you might have an add or subtract here and a multiply. So you move the add or subtract, then you move the multiply. Alright, so x minus 3 squared equals negative 5. And then I would take the square root, but what's the problem? I can't have the square root of a negative, at least not in Algebra 1. No real solution. You can in Algebra 2, but you got 2 years for that. Okay. You are still working on the page I gave you yesterday. You did, what numbers did you do yesterday? 4 through 9. So just as a reminder, you did 4 through 9 yesterday. Because I'm checking it all today. But today, you're doing 10 through 15.